So that's what I'm excited about being here.
For sure.
Jack, before we get into all the details on the art car parade, the importance and significance, as Carl was just saying, about art and art education and exposure to art.
Art is something that opens up your mind and it asks questions rather than gets questions answered. And that invigorates the creative spirit. It really does. And if you take that away from people, it's not as you don't have a good of plumbers or a good of chef or the best mechanics. People that are involved and integrated with the arts and thinking about it are better at whatever they do.
Yeah, I know that the art car parade always asks lots of questions.
Well, yeah.
We ask, how did they do that? Why did they do it? And how is it still rolling? Some of them aren't. They kind of break down. We are going to MC one of the stands at the art car parade.
As usual.
There for many
so
years, but this
excited.
year I get to bring my Hello Houston team.
Hello.
Yes.
And
we're so
congratulations
excited.
on the show. This is fabulous.
Oh, thank
Thank you.
you. And Carl, as Grand Marshal, what car are you riding in? And you said you've been working on your outfit?
Yeah, I did work on my outfit.
Nice.
And so my thing is I wanted to have some level of color and interest. So
Hard
it's
to
not
find
totally
at
safe.
the art car parade.
And Houston.
okay.
So I'm going to try to get a little bit of everything. So of course, I guess the best way to describe it is color, art, and bling
I love that.
Perfect.
in a
Bling.
Houston way.
I got to rethink my outfit.
Color, art, and bling. I
Yeah.
feel like
In a
that is
Houston way.
Houston.
Jack, it's a whole weekend of activities.
Oh, yeah.
Even last night. But where are we today? It's Friday. I'm saying that just in case you're in the thick of it and don't realize what day it is.
I've had about 7 hours of sleep the last 3 days.
I bet.
No, tonight is the ball.
The
The
legendary.
legendary art car ball, which is the big party basically kicking off the parade.
And don't be intimidated that it's called a ball. It's not black tie,
No.
sit-down dinner. This is a festival.
There's a lot more tie-dye than there is black tie. But no, it's
funny.
a great event. And yesterday morning was Main Street Drag, which I participated in, and that is one of the most touching and wonderful parts of the whole weekend, because the artists atomize the parade into maybe 10 different groups of about 10 cars and strike out across the city and go to different places.
Yeah.
Go to schools and hospitals and retirement homes and all kinds of things all across the city, and let people get right up close and personal with the cars.
So that was yesterday.
Yep.
We know our car ball today.
Yep.
Tell them about tomorrow so people know where and when they need to be for all the activities coming.
Well, tomorrow you could start, gathering down on Allen Parkway at about 11 o'clock at what's called the lineup party, which is a really great place to see the cars.
How many cars this year?
281.
Wow.
Wow. Where do they garage all those cars when they're not in the parade?
Home.
I was going to say,
Most
there,
everyone has
there is an art car in our neighborhood.
Is there really?
Yeah, they
Yes,
live in the real
they
world,
live in
which
the,
is
they
so
live
crazy
out,
about
and
it.
every once in a while in Houston, I feel like you can see them,
Yeah, they're-
driving out and about. They're absolutely fascinating.
Are there
daily
some
drivers.
returning
Daily drivers.
favorites? Are there returning favorites?
There are some
Everybody's
returning
one.
favorites, but this year there's an amazing amount of new cars. There's over 100 brand new cars
Oh,
that
really?
haven't been
Wow.
seen before, which is really great.
So people gather at 11. They can wander the preview party.
Wander the preview party.
Then the actual parade, 2
starts
o'clock.
at 2 o'clock.
Best place to see it is in front of where our announce stand is, but not everyone can be there.
Yeah.
Well, they can. They can go to the VI pit.
They can go to the VI pit. There's
And that's a
tickets
great
available
fundraiser.
for that, and that is a fundraiser to help fund the expensive costs of the art car
But it
parade.
is free to the community all along.
It is the biggest free event next to the rodeo.
parade.
Wow.
The rodeo parade, yeah, I suppose. The rodeo is a ticketed event. The art car parade is not.
And most people know Allen Parkway will be shut down. So
Oh, yeah.
don't
Yeah.
even think about
About
that.
going down
They'll
that
get down there to either Memorial or
Right.
take some back streets. There's a rideshare drop off,
There is.
so you can get there that way.
There is.
But
I encourage people to ride their bike over.
there you go.
That's
Yeah.
how I
Great.
often get into the parade is I ride my bike.
Smart.
Now, Carl-
And the weather's going to be perfect,
it's-
by the way.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you, Frank. for
Yeah,
that.
you're welcome.
Oh, my God. Now, Carl, what are you most excited about?
I love the cars because I'm a car guy. I've been for
Okay.
many years. And
And you like bling.
Yep, I like bling, I like cars, I like art. And so, I mean, cars from just, we drive all the way up to Formula One. I mean, so you're taking things that I loved and learned at a young age, you're taking things that I enjoy, and you're putting it together. So I'm excited to see the cars. And yes, yes, just like you're saying, I've seen cars in neighborhoods. I live in 3rd Ward, and some I think should be in it, but maybe you want to go to our car show? What is that? Okay. Sorry,
This isn't our car. This is my
Well,
car.
what if somebody is thinking, I think this is really cool, and I would like to start
Like to
making
build an art car?
Yeah. How does that work?
Well, it happens in a lot of different ways. And one of the best ways for us right now is Team Gilman donates 10 cars a year to students, basically. They give them to teachers in different ISDs around the city. And then those cars become art classes from beginning to end. So the students envision how it's going to look. They start working on it. They enter it into the parade.
To find out all the
And they get to
information on everything and the schedules,
Go
where
to
do
the
people
website,
go? What is it?
orangeshow.com.
Orangeshow.com. Hope to see you out there
I'm
tomorrow.
sorry, orangeshow.org.
There you go.
Orangeshow.org. There we
We have a
go.
poster.
And hope that you all see us there.
That's right. Jack Massing is the executive director of the Orange Show Center for Visionary Art. Jack, thanks so much for joining us here on Hello Houston. And Carl Lewis is an Olympic track star and Grand Marshal of the Art Car Parade. Carl, thank you as well so
Thank
much
you
for
so
joining
much.
us,
Thank
both
you,
of you.
guys.
Thanks
See
for
everyone
being here.
tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah.
The
Thanks,
38th
Carl. Good to see
annual
you.
Art Car Parade and Festival is happening now through Sunday, April 13th. Coming up on Hello Houston, we'll talk with musician Brittany Davis and actress and comedian Tiffany Haddish. We'll be taking more of your comments on the top stories of the day. This is Hello Houston on News 88.7. Today you heard about the congressional seat that's open, the 18th district, and the importance of making sure that we're filling that seat. And yesterday we had Christian Menefee on to discuss his candidacy for that seat, as well as today we spoke with Amanda Edwards. The guests and perspectives you hear right here on Hello Houston are possible because of your support. This show brings you real conversations about what's happening in our city and what's happening right now and how it connects you to the bigger picture. When you give, you're making sure these voices keep coming through loud and clear. Support your right to stay informed and engaged at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887. I'm Celeste Díaz Schurman here with Frank Billingsley.
Yes, Hello Houston is here for everyone, and that's the point. No paywall, no subscription, just open access that really matters to our city. So this show exists because people like you choose to support shows like this. Right now, we're asking you to be a part of that. Stand up for trusted, independent news that reflects life in Houston. Give today at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887.
Stay tuned. There's more Hello Houston on the way with Ernie Manouse, Celeste Díaz Schurman, and Frank Billingsley. For the latest in local news, subscribe to the Hello Houston daily newsletter at houstonpublicmedia.org. Hello Houston is a production of Houston Public Media. The opinions expressed by the guests of this program are solely their own and do not represent the views of management, staff, or underwriters of Houston Public Media. This is News 88.7.
Did you know Houston Public Media accepts vehicle donations? If you've got a car or truck that you don't need anymore, donate it to our station. It could be worth hundreds of dollars or more in support. Go online to houstonpublicmedia.org/cars for more info. Support for Houston Public Media comes from Certa Pro Painters, offering residential and commercial painting services, from color consultations to full project management. Estimates and more at certapro.com.
It is 11:59. This is News 88.7. For the rest of today, nice, sunny, with a high getting up to near 86. Currently at 77. This is your NPR station, KUHF, Houston. News 88.7, a service of the University of Houston.
Just ahead on this hour of Hello Houston, one Houston area mom is igniting the internet after an encounter with the HISD Superintendent. We'll tell you more. Hi, I'm Ernie Manouse.
And I'm Celeste Díaz Schurman. Brittany Davis is a musician who defies convention. They are a composer, keyboardist, and a singer who uses their music to uplift and fight for a more inclusive world.
I'm Frank Billingsley. We want to know your thoughts, so call us at 713-440-8870 or email us at talk@hellohouston.org. And you can also watch us on our YouTube channel. Just go to houstonpublicmedia.org and click the big orange banner.
And should one of the space shuttles be brought back to Houston's Johnson Space Center?
Plus, special guest, actress and comedian Tiffany Haddish joins us. A lot's going on right after the news.
Hello Houston is made possible in part by founding sponsors John Bradshaw and Kathy Sanders, and by gifts from listeners like you.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Lakshmi Singh. U.S. markets are recovering some losses a day after their sell-off, the volatility underscoring global uncertainty and anxiety over President Trump's on-again, off-again tariffs. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is questioning whether members of Congress may have improperly taken advantage of the current turmoil in the stock market.
There are several members of Congress who will be aggressively demanding answers and transparency, particularly as it relates to stock purchase decisions that may have occurred over the last few days.
While President Trump has temporarily relaxed tariffs for most countries, he's holding firm against China by imposing 145% levies. China shot back with a tariff of 125%. President Trump's trade war is taking a toll on consumer sentiment. NPR's Scott Horsley reports a new survey from the University of Michigan finds Americans increasingly gloomy about the economic outlook.
Consumer sentiment fell in April for the fourth month in a row and has now dropped by 30% since the end of last year. People across the political spectrum are less optimistic about business conditions, personal finances, and inflation. More than twice as many people are worried about the job market now as were back in November. Concerns about rising unemployment are the highest they've been since 2009, when the economy was shedding hundreds of thousands of jobs every month. The survey was conducted around the time President Trump announced sweeping tariffs on imports from around the world. It does not account for his partial backtracking earlier this week. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
White House envoy Steve Witkoff arrived in Russia today for a previously unannounced visit. The Kremlin confirms Witkoff's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. NPR's Charles Maines has the latest from Moscow.
According to flight tracker data, Witkoff's plane touched down in Russia's second city of St. Petersburg, where Putin is currently spending the day on a work trip. The meeting marks Witkoff's third sit-down with the Kremlin leader in the past 2 months. Witkoff's arrival comes as President Trump has expressed growing frustration with Moscow's lack of progress in talks aimed at ending the war in Ukraine. Trump has even threatened secondary tariffs and sanctions on Russian oil exports, a major pillar of the Russian economy, if he decides the Kremlin leader is dragging out negotiations to further his military aims. Charles Maines, NPR News, Moscow.
This weekend marks a religiously significant period for both Jewish and Christian observances, Passover coinciding with Palm Sunday. At last check on Wall Street, the Dow was up 476 points, more than 1%. The S&P is up 1.4%, NASDAQ up 1.5%. It's NPR News.
Live from News 88.7 in Houston, I'm Matt Thomas. We start with some breaking news from around the state. The Texas Department of State Health Services is reporting that the measles number has gone up yet again. It has been going up for weeks and months. There are now 541 active cases that have been confirmed since late January. Of course, most of those involving the West Texas outbreak. Montgomery County will spend more than $3,000 every day to outsource 45 prisoners to the Waller County Jail. News 88.7's Sarah Gruneau says commissioners are discussing options to deal with overcrowding in the jail.
Montgomery County will still be responsible for transporting inmates to and from court. Waller County will provide them with housing, food, and basic medical needs. Montgomery commissioners also discussed an idea to house inmates in tents or in the same building as juveniles.
I'm just asking, do they have to be, and I don't mean this to be,
yes, sir.
I'm not being a smart ass. Do they have to be in a building? Can they be in tents?
They'd have to meet the jail standards, whatever that looks like for us.
Sheriff Wesley Doolittle said the jail is nearly 40 years old and needs a larger space for prisoners. Commissioners will work with the sheriff's office to discuss a potential expansion. I'm Sarah Gruno, News 88.7.
And plenty of sports for you to enjoy tonight, starting with the Houston Astros. They'll try to get a win over the Los Angeles Angels at the ballpark downtown. And then, if you want to stay up late, the first pitch on that is 7:10. Want to stay up a little later, 9:30 tip-off, because the Rockets are on the West Coast to play the L.A. Lakers. The weather for today going into this weekend, highs in the mid-80s this afternoon, lows in the upper 50s tonight, and then for your Saturday, sunshine with highs in the lower 80s, and we'll still be enjoying a little bit lower humidity. I'm Matt Thomas, News 88.7.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Fisher Investments. Fisher's dedicated team of specialists provide resources on investing, retirement income, estate planning, and more. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Live from the University of Houston, it's Hello Houston, an open forum on today's biggest stories affecting Houston and beyond. Call now, 713-440-8870, or let us know your thoughts on today's topics by emailing us at talk@hellohouston.org. Now here's your host for Hello Houston, Ernie Manouse, Celeste Díaz Schurman, and Frank Billingsley.
We are back in the second hour of the final Hello Houston of the week.
There we go. We're 2 weeks down, right?
Don't get scared. You looked at me like, is this the final show?
No, never.
No, just of the week.
Okay.
You know?
That's
and
fine.
you know what's so great about this show? When someone asks a really great question, oftentimes one of the hosts will re-ask the exact same question. I did that earlier today, and I apologize. We're nothing if not honest with you. But I'm not going to do that this hour. That's my goal. Okay, but you can watch it all on YouTube. Just go to our YouTube channel. It's Houston Public Media's channel, or go to houstonpublicmedia.org, and you can click the banner and come in to see the show.
And what a weather weekend we have coming up.
What a weather weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be warm. It's going to be warm today.
The weather weekend update.
And we have this other front that's going to come through, dry front, so no rain. It's just going to bring in another cool, crisp weekend. And tomorrow night, the full pink moon.
I heard about this full pink moon.
What makes it a pink moon?
Okay.
That's just what it's called. Because have you ever heard of the flower ground phlox? PHLOX, ground phlox?
No. Never.
Well, it's widespread in the northern United States, and it's pink. And so that's when it, just like flowers blooming, ground phlox blooms pink, and it's that time of year, and that's how it got to be known as the pink moon. It has nothing to do with the color pink. It's not.
So we're not going to be out there looking at the moon. But you know what we can be looking for on the show right now? Coming up this hour, musician Brittany Davis is going to be here. She's playing in Houston this weekend. And also, we're very excited, actress and comedian Tiffany Haddish will be here, helping us figure out what we want to do with our last-minute plans. I bet I know what she wants to do.
I bet.
She wants to do her show at the Comedy Club.
That's right.
But we started off with a viral sensation. Take us away.
That's right. So a Houston mom and HISD parent is going viral for confronting Superintendent Mike Miles at the George Bush Intercontinental Airport. The Houston Chronicle obtained the video, and here is what she had to say.
Thanks a lot for the horrible job he's doing ruining our school district. He needs to get the hell out of town and go to Colorado where school puppet charter schools is ripping off. He's doing a disservice to students here in HISD and teachers and administrators. Thank you. You really mean that sincerely, huh? Well, no thanks to him for ruining our school district. You're a disgrace to Houston ISD. You need to get the hell out of town. You're ruining Houston ISD.
So that was Ginny Stogner McDavid. She has 2 kids at
What'd she
HISD.
say exactly? I couldn't hear it very well.
You're ruining HISD. You need to get the hell out of town.
Okay.
And when she saw him Wednesday afternoon inside the United Club Lounge, well, you heard it. She went for it. Do you think that was a good move or a bad move? Was a social contract broken? And if you had your moment to confront a public figure that you really disagreed with, would you go for it? Give us a call, 713-440-8870.
Passions run high on certain subjects, and you're going to have to you're going to expect these things to happen. I don't condone a negative encounter with people to begin with. I'm fine with people addressing situations and concerns. That's where I would be in my perfect world that I like to think we live in. When you're in a world where we're dealing with children, you feel parts of your community are being ripped away from you, passions do run high. And I think we're going to see more and more of this going on.
I'm not sure we know the answer to that. I know the three of us as journalists trying to be objective, you just wouldn't want to go and flare up. And I mean, we have the opportunity a lot of times to talk to people. You want to hear what they have to say. You want to bring up subjects that you're passionate about. So I don't think any of us would just tear into somebody like that. I would hope not. But you know what? I'm not sure.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where, I was looking on Reddit and there's different Reddit threads and a lot of people are like, good for her. Good for her that she took that moment, that she went up there and, she told him to his face, regardless of the situation. I think about that often. Okay, if I was confronted with somebody that, I don't necessarily agree with, but I'm passionate about the reason why I don't agree with them, I feel like I would.
You would
everybody
so go off on.
I would not. I would not. I actually would not. I don't think I would actually go up to them. However, everybody that I'm with would know what I would say.
I'll give you that.
I would tell every single person. You know what I would say? Oh my gosh, there they go. I would tell them. But I don't, for me personally, just me, I don't think I have it in me. But however, I do think that there comes certain points in life where you just say, I'm over it, and I am going to tell you what I think.
I think Frank made a point when he used the word moment, because in most people's lives, you only have that moment. It's not like she's going to have Mike Miles sitting across from her and she can have a conversation. We do have that option.
Unless they happen to be on the same flight.
If they sat next to you on the flight, I think Mike Miles would know exactly what you're thinking. Anybody would, because I think you would share your thoughts with them.
See, I would. So to your point, Ernie, I would share my thoughts. Perhaps I'm not sure I would.
You wouldn't be confrontational.
I wouldn't. I just don't have that.
Yeah.
I mean, now
but imagine. You're feeling like your child, your schools are not where they should be. You see the person that you feel is specifically responsible for this. You have an instant to get up there, up close and personal. Yeah, I just think.
And, most people, when they are very passionate about something, there's a reason. There is a reason why most people feel very passionate about it. And, we invite you to the conversation, 713-440-8870. And we have Valda from the Med Center on the line. Hi, Valda. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
We're doing well, thank you. What is your comment about this?
My comment is kudos to that mom. I'm grateful that she spoke up, that she's giving a voice to those of us who don't often get heard. This is about the children.
Mm-hmm.
This superintendent has shut down libraries in favor of detaining children. I don't agree with it. Every chance we get to say we don't agree with it, we need to speak up.
Would you do the same thing that she did if you saw someone, whether it was Mike Miles or whomever, would you go right up to him and give them a piece of your mind?
If I saw somebody who took a hatchet to something that is dear and sacred instead of a scalpel, I would.
Valda, thank you for sharing your thoughts and comments with us. It's an interesting topic, and I'm happy to hear that you stand proud for what you believe in. We're interested in all of our listeners and what they think. If you're listening right now and you have an opinion on this topic or anything we've chatted about today, 713-440-8870.
I would just hope it would stop at voicing your displeasure.
Yeah.
I don't agree with people going to people's homes and
right.
and protesting outside, whether Supreme Court justices have had that problem with people, and certainly probably some of our politicians today have had that problem. I don't agree with that.
Right. Well, I do like the way Valda said, taking a hatchet to something that should have been handled with a scalpel.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a perfect lead into my story.
Solid.
A lot's going on in big, massive moves. We talked about this yesterday. Now, as we predicted, China has upped its retaliatory tariffs on the U.S. imports to 125%, escalating the trade war between the world's two biggest economic powers. Chinese leader Xi Jinping added his nation was not afraid of his action. What do you think? What's going on with this tariff war? Give us a call, 713-440-8870. Despite Trump claiming in recent days that China wants a deal, they just don't know how to go about it, is the quote. China's action on Friday indicated no movement toward developing an off-ramp for this escalating trade war.
Well, we will.
You think so?
I think so. I think we have to. I mean, I don't see any other way around it, but then I'm not the guy in charge, am I?
Right.
The Dow is up almost 400 points. It's almost to 40,000. It's at 39,991 right now. So it was down early. It was up, then it was down. It was up, it's down. But it's been climbing for the better part of the last hour and a half. So I guess that's some good news because people were still dumping bonds as of this morning.
Yeah.
So that, there's some faith in the market. All economies are a matter of confidence.
Right.
If you don't have confidence in the economy, it will crater. And that's where we have to find our way through this, is we have to be confident that what is happening is a blip and that we will continue to go forward.
Otherwise, I do want to say the White House clarified on Thursday that China now faces a tariff rate of 145% on its exports to the United States. That figure includes a pre-existing 20% tax on goods.
Yeah, I think we're going to find our way through this. I think it's who blinks first, but someone always does.
I'm just worried why we're having a blinking contest at all.
That's a whole different hour and a half. Let me tell you. I know. Well, we should get Brandon on here to talk about that.
Yeah. Going back to our earlier story, we're taking calls, 713-440-8870. Victoria from Katy is on the line. Victoria, what's on your mind?
Yeah, it was in concerns to that Mike Miles situation where someone spoke up, and I think that it's necessary to, eloquently, respectfully say what you're thinking, because, these politicians, anyone, there's consequences to the things that they do, and, some people can support it, some people can dislike it, but I think it's very important and crucial that we still have that ability to voice our concerns. So I definitely would, say something if it came to that.
So did you feel, Victoria, that maybe this was almost like a verbal assault?
Yeah, kind of. It seemed like there was some hostility, and I know that just both sides today, people don't want to see any hostility. We want to, make a neutral ground and really understand each other, and it's just easier to understand each other when we're in calm, respectful, collected tones.
I think you have a good point.
Victoria, thank you for calling us. Of course, we're interested in what everyone is thinking. 713-440-8870. Alton from Northwest Houston is on the line. Alton, what's on your mind?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to let y'all know that, one, I love y'all's program, and number two, I absolutely agree with what the lady said to Mike Miles. I'm with her. I would hope I would have the guts to do the same thing. I believe that he's absolutely ruining HISD, and he is doing to HISD what Trump is doing to the country and what Abbott is doing to the state of Texas. I feel very passionately about all of that, and I'm glad the lady, she spoke for me, and I just wanted to tell you that. Thank you, okay?
Thank you, and thank you for the kudos. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Alton. Switching topics slightly at 713-440-8870. Stephen from Northwest Houston. What's on your mind, Stephen?
Good afternoon. I'd like to comment on the tariff situation. I think the Trump administration, and particularly Trump individually on a personal basis, wants people to come and basically kiss his backside, in his own words. President Xi of China is not so inclined to do so. And I think there's a reason for that. I think the Chinese historically, and if you look back on the history, they have been rather abused, particularly by European powers, with spheres of influence and situations like that. They feel like they're kind of a second-class, have always been treated as a second-class citizen. And right now, China considers itself as the second largest economy in the world to be a big-time player. And as a result, China is not going to, if you excuse the expression, kowtow to the Trump administration, where other countries have beaten a path to the White House to try to cut a deal and make calls to call Trump to, again, kiss his backside. Then that situation, then President Xi is not going to do that. He considers himself to be an equal with the United States. China has filed claims with the World Trade Organization, suits against the United States for these tariff policies as abusive and bullies. And I think at the end of the day, when the case goes to the World Trade Organization, the United States is probably going to lose that case.
Stephen,
you may be right.
Thank you for those comments. Remember, we're interested in what you have to say. 713-440-8870.
All right. I didn't know this happened, but the original cast recording of Hamilton, the score of the video game Minecraft, and a milestone 1970 album by Miles Davis are among the 25 latest additions to the National Recording Registry. This was created in 2000 by the Library of Congress to help bring attention to its preservation efforts. The registration now contains 675 titles, like, I love this, Kiss an Angel, Good Morning.
By Charlie
Kiss an
Pride.
Angel, Good
Yeah.
Morning. Charlie Pride. I am
Love
woman.
like
This
a
is
devil when
this
you
is
get back
this
home.
is Celeste's song. I am woman. Hear me roar.
That's right.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road from Elton John. Before the Next Teardrop Falls. These are all being pulled into the. I didn't know that. Did you know this? That the Library of Congress did all of this.
This is sing along with Frank
What's your?
Friday.
I know. What is your favorite album or
Right.
song? Call me. Let me know. 713-440-8870. I think everybody. Well, anyone born in my era knows. Well, all of these songs came out on the radio, and back then all we had was the radio, and they would play the number one songs over and over and over, and so everyone knew the words to all the number one songs because that's all you heard.
Today, you don't just have the radio, you also have us on YouTube. So you can find us there at HoustonPublicMedia.org. It is a fascinating list, and it always causes fights, though, because then you're like, well, why did that get in and why didn't this get in? I need to go back and look at the 675 titles and see what's there and then see what's missing.
Are you going to just look for Cher?
I was just going to say, I wonder if Cher's on
Yeah, I'm sure Cher is, but not Celine Dion is. My
Cher
heart will go
herself
on.
should be put in the Library of
Celine
Congress.
Dion.
Uh-huh.
I love Celine
Fly Like
Dion.
an Eagle, Tracy Chapman.
Tracy
And of course, the whole album of Hamilton, which is wonderful.
The whole album.
The whole album, yeah.
An
from
important
2015.
piece, once again, in pop culture history. So, do you have thoughts on what should be on the list? Give us a call, 713-440-8870.
Coming up on Hello Houston, we talk with musician Brittany Davis, playing in Houston this week. And actress and comedian Tiffany Haddish will share what she's up to right here in Houston. And we're also taking your calls, as Ernie said, on any or of all of today's topics at 713-440-8870. This is Hello Houston on News 88.7. Hello Houston is all about helping you get the whole picture. Because when you understand what's happening here in Greater Houston and beyond, you're empowered to make the best decisions for yourself, for your family, and your community. We believe access to information is a right, and we're proud to bring it to you without a paywall. Now is the time to give to support at Hello Houston. Give at HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887. I'm Celeste Díaz Schurman here with the Ernie Manouse.
With the Ernie
Ernie
Manouse?
Manouse.
I got a "the" in front of my name. Hello Houston reaches into our community to find stories and voices that add nuance and context to your understanding of all of Greater Houston. You meet people you otherwise probably would never have known about. What's even better is you get to hear their voice. That places you next to them, in conversation with them, and helps you sense exactly where they're coming from. That's special. And guess what? You make it happen. Please make a monthly gift of support right now at HoustonPublicMedia.org or call 888-909-0887.
Houston Public Media was built to serve our community, even in uncertain times. When other funding is threatened, your support becomes even more important. When you give, you're reinforcing the foundation that keeps trusted journalism available for everyone. And that's the key, for everyone in Greater Houston. Help protect what matters to you. Give now at HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate or pick up that phone, 888-909-0887.
Remember, you can give monthly or make a one-time gift. Every donation makes a difference no matter the size. So, what is trusted information worth to you? Decide and give right now at HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate or by calling 888-909-0887.
If you've never given before, there is no better time to join us as a new member. Whether you're hearing from different guests, like the callers that call in and talk to us and tell us their opinions, whether you're hearing from Frank or Ernie or Amanda Edwards or Christian Menifee, you have the right to know and hear the whole picture. And Houston Public Media is here to make sure you do. Keep your source of information strong with a gift at HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate or give us a call, 888-909-0887. And again, that number is 888-909-0887.
Houston Public Media is rooted in our community. We show up at school board meetings, city council votes, and neighborhood events.
That's how you stay informed about what's happening around you through deep local reporting that brings clarity and insight.
Your support powers this public service, so Greater Houston stays informed, connected, and safe.
Support local journalism right now at HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887.
Your support allows Houston Public Media to be a vital source of education and connection, providing free access to programming for all ages. We are grateful to these Catalyst supporters. Their generosity fuels our ability to innovate and be prepared for whatever the future may lead. John Bradshaw, Estate of John Iman, Margaret and Vince Foster, Estate of Marcia Moore, Estate of Billy Winkleman, and the Wortham Foundation. Thank you.
On this week's On the Media, the CEO of Blue Sky, a competitor of Meta and X, shares her ideas of how to billionaire-proof the internet.
Zuckerberg has built a digital empire, and we've helped him build that with our data and our time. And I want people to realize that we can build our own digital spaces. We can take that back.
Don't miss this week's On the Media from WNYC.
You can hear the show tomorrow afternoon at 5 on News 88.7.
Support comes from Collaborative for Children's Collab Kid U this Saturday at Rice University. There, young children can engage in STEAM activities, explore renewable energy, robotics, and more. Tickets at collabforchildren.org.
Support for Houston Public Media comes from Rice University's Master of Liberal Studies, a flexible degree taught by Rice faculty that balances life and learning for working adults. More at gls.rice.edu.
And now back to Hello Houston. Call now, 713-440-8870, or email us at talk@hellohouston.org to get your comment in on today's topics. Here's Ernie Manouse, Celeste Díaz Schurman, and Frank Billingsley.
And welcome back to a very lively Hello Houston on this Friday. We're having a lot of fun here, covering a lot of topics. I'm Ernie Manouse, of course, with Celeste and Frank, and with all of you. You know, we had a comment about the Our Car Parade. Someone wrote in to say, I'm all about the Our Car Parade. Heard about it years ago, but never attended until 2 years ago. Now I mark it out on my calendar every year. That's from Chad.
Nice.
And we're happy to do that. We're going to be there.
And we have a call from Katie from Stephen talking about one of the comments that I made. Stephen, what's up?
Hey, so thanks so much for doing the show and asking about the encounter with Mike Miles. I was just going to point out, and I want to be clear, you know, I'm not suggesting that anyone visits somebody's house in the middle of the night, no safety related stuff, right? But you mentioned you don't think it's appropriate to go to somebody's home, an elected politician. But if my kid is in HISD and their school, you know, to use somebody else's words, he's taking a hatchet to the school system, and he's harming my child's education, is he not coming close to my home or actually affecting my home as well?
But he's not outside protesting with signs or making a disturbance. Your home should be a safe haven, I think.
I agree, and I don't think any safety-related issues should come up. But I think protesting outside during, let's say, business hours without doing any sort of property damage, I think is appropriate. The nature of protest is to make people uncomfortable.
Okay, well, I appreciate the metaphor to your home. At the same time, most of us have a place of business, and that's a place that I think can be protested effectively. But we have to move on. But thank you very much for your comment. I do appreciate it, and thank you for listening. All right, let's move to Brittany Davis, a musician that is in our studio right now. I listen to her music, and it's just fabulous. She's a composer, keyboardist, a singer who uses her music to uplift and fight for a more inclusive world. Her music mixes funk, soul, jam rock, noise rock, blues, jazz, pop, R&B, music that is undefinable in many ways. It's a very unique sound. And Miss Davis will be performing tonight at the Orange Show, and she decided to stop here ahead of her sound check to talk with us. Brittany, welcome to Hello Houston. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
I want to point out the obvious to us. You are blind.
Yes.
And have you been blind your whole life?
My entire life, yes.
And how did you find your way into this musical world?
Well, it found its way into me,
honestly.
There you go. I say music is my first language and then English, so there's that.
So not only are you performing at the Orange Show, it is the Art Car Ball, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
So you're going to be part of this little world of Art Car too.
Right.
Are you excited about it?
I don't know, it was a whirlwind when I realized how beautiful and big this thing is. It's like, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute.
It is big.
So, Brittany, you play the piano. How did you land on that instrument?
Or did it land on you?
I hope not. Well, the thing about it is, with piano, everything that I experience in tones. I don't see light, I don't see color, so everything is in tones. And when I was at my preschool, I noticed that the piano had a lot of those tones on it.
So like chords and
runs? More like notes or sequences of notes.
Yep.
That's why I say music is my first language.
It speaks to you.
Yeah, somehow it speaks to me.
I like
I don't know how to explain it.
And so how old were you when you started playing the piano?
3.5 years old.
Oh my goodness! Wow. And when were you composing? How old were when you were really just hitting it and that was your song?
3.5 years.
Oh wow!
Old.
From the very beginning, you were a prodigy for sure.
That's what they were saying, but I didn't feel prodigy, whatever that word is. Prodigy. Yeah, make a new word.
So your music is really eclectic. Where do you find your inspiration when it comes to composing and writing and putting it all together?
Well, first and foremost, I gotta say that God really had the first say in everything that I did, and I feel like the Lord really gave me the guidance to do it. And also when it comes to the culture that I'm a part of, just listening to so many different styles, it just hits me. Like sometimes I really need to really, really rap, and sometimes I really, really need to sing, and sometimes maybe I just need to sing the blues because it hurts so much. I can't. I don't know how. I always find it interesting to see how people stick to one genre. Not saying that it's wrong or nothing.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you what your favorite is, but I don't think you have a favorite. I think you love it all.
I can't.
I know. I understand.
I understand. Into jazz right now.
And you really use your platform for inclusion.
Yes.
I read about that.
Absolutely.
All right. Tell me your philosophy about the world.
So I always feel like,
that's a big question.
It doesn't be the whole world, but what do you live by?
Well, just that life is so much more expansive than we give it credit for, or than we give it space to really inhabit. I was having a really interesting conversation with some folk about different ways that we include sensory experiences in our expressions of art in the decisions in which those affect us. A lot of the times when we think about sensory experiences and things that you touch and pull and play with, we think of that for kids. But somebody like me, like, there's so many instances in my day where I experience a loss of information more than a gaining. In this world where things can come to you at a snap of a finger, you know, for somebody who is totally blind and has been since birth, that's not always possible. And we haven't found real ways to really inhabit those spaces where those things are lost.
I'm curious about your understanding of the universality of your message, that other people receive it. We're all individual. You come with your own unique set of challenges, and yet your message connects with so many people. Why is that, do you think?
I think it's literally because I want to make room for that inhabitants. The same way I feel like I didn't feel included. I want that feeling to be felt for other people. And I think that that's what closes the door. That's what snaps it shut. That's what takes it home. Is that when people hear my music, they're going to know that there's a place for them in all of it. If not all of it, somewhere you're going to hear you.
Yeah.
You're going to hear what you feel. You're going to hear what you know. You're going to feel that thing, whatever it is. If it's grief, if it's love, if it's healing taking place, whatever it is, you're going to be able to find it.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's
amongst all of that message, there's also a whole lot of fun. And your music is extremely uplifting.
We're having fun. That's the best part. We're not trying to make some kind of like secret message to try to like, okay, Sepricon isn't even a word.
Yeah.
But that's like one of my trending songs right now. How is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just, and everybody's like, oh, is it the horoscope? Is it the, no, it's just, Sepricon is literally the translation of an experience. Like, okay, like, if you say to me, Brittany, this table is green, that's like you're saying peach potato. It's like, what do that mean?
Yeah.
That's what Sepricon is. That is the translation of what it feels like to be given something visual with a non-visual context.
Have you ever used your music to see color?
I am color. That's the music. That is the color.
Yeah.
I am the color.
Nice.
And it resonates not just in color but in sound. So it's like your voice could be a color because of its sound.
And I mean no disrespect with this question.
Go ahead.
But I'm curious if your lack of vision actually is a freeing thing for you that gives you an ability to go beyond what limits us and what we see and feel restricted by, and that you don't have that restriction.
You know, that's a really powerful question, and I want to kind of testify that because I feel like for the longest time I haven't felt free. I don't feel free because even though I have all of these textural ideas and sonic ideas and, you know, all of these ways that I wish to, what I say, verb or to do my art, it doesn't feel acceptable in the visual world or in the visual context. So I feel bound to try to make myself just fit. Like, get in that visual context. Get in there. You know, and it can't, and it doesn't always work. So it's not always freeing is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I've come to realize that there are some places where when I take those liberties, people really catch on.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
it's beautiful, like Sepricon. Sepricon's a great, you know, kind of platform for that.
Yeah, it's like an umbrella word.
Yeah, it's an umbrella word because
That's
it's an
so much.
experience.
We're
Yeah.
talking to Brittany Davis, a blind musician on all genres. She's just as soul, jam rock, noise rock, funk, everything, almost everything you can name.
Rap,
Brittany's
soul.
a part of that. You're in town for the Orange Show.
Yes.
So tell me, have you been to Houston before?
Okay, once, but not to play though.
Oh,
that's exciting.
Or not to play musically, just to come here and play.
Play, yeah. I
gotta
love your
play.
playing on words.
Yeah. Well, Brittany, I have a question. What is some of your career highlights so far that you have
I mean,
just...
besides being on this show.
Right,
now.
of course.
I mean, there's that. Come on, that's like got to be one of the big ones. I've been on Tiny Desk. I got to go to Europe twice.
Yeah. Nice.
I played. Well, the first time I went, it was because I went to South by Southwest Festival.
Yeah.
So, and I got to play that twice.
Over in Austin?
In Austin, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I got to work with Spin Magazine. Dang, I got so many. I played with Stone Gossard in a side project of his called Painted Shield. Like, I got so many. I've been to Germany, Paris, London. I played the Montreux Festival. I played, like, all these cool festivals I never thought I'd play. And it was like a whole month tour. It was crazy.
Does it ever feel unreal?
Right now, it does.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I just made an entire anthem for the Seattle soccer female team, the Reign.
Yeah.
Like,
I love that.
Like, it just happened, and it took off like a rocket, man.
Fabulous.
It's great.
So where's home base for you?
Right now, Seattle, Washington.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
It's kind of wet, but you probably like the rain.
I don't even like. I like the sun. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. I like the sun. I like
So do
the
we.
sun. So I'm gonna tell you what I do like. Not what I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
go. Folks are going to come out tonight and they're going to love you. I know that. What are they going to see when they come out there? What are you going to be giving us?
All I got.
Oh, well, that's not limiting at all, is it?
All I got, because that's what I give every time I hit that stage, man. You're going to get all I got.
If you weren't performing, how would you feel? Or I guess to flip that question, what does performing give to you when you're up on that stage, when you hear that audience?
When I feel that energy,
yeah,
it's like when I'm performing, I feel sighted. I feel like I can see. I feel like I can see it all so clear. What I'm supposed to do, why I'm here. That's what I imagine being able to see feels like. It's like, okay, I know where I am. I know where I belong. I know where to go, when to stop, how to take it higher, drop it lower, Like, I got the controls now, man. I'm at the mixing board, and I'm able to dial in as deeply as I need to. No, that's the really motive truth.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Wow. Well, we're going to give you those controls tonight for
Thank
sure.
you.
And Brittany, if somebody would like to hear more about your music and about you, where can people find that information?
So people can definitely go to my website, BrittanyDavisMusic.net. You can go to Instagram, Brittany Davis Music, Facebook, Brittany Davis Music. I'm on Loose Groove Records website. That's my record label that I work with. And
Nice.
Yeah, you can find me all over everything.
She's everywhere.
I'm everywhere. Spotify, Apple, let's go.
Let's
Thank you
go.
so much. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Musician, singer, and composer Brittany Davis is performing tonight at the Orange Show. Brittany, again, thank you so much for being on Hello Houston.
Thanks, guys.
Coming up, we'll talk about our last-minute plans, and we will be joined by comedian and actress Tiffany Haddish. And we're also taking your calls on any of today's topics. Give us a call. And 713-440-8870. This is Hello Houston on News 88.7. Stay with us.
Thank you so much.
So obviously we are, here on Hello Houston, and it's one of those things where coming up, we want to make sure that we are always informing you, whether that is something happening that is great in Katy or Cypress or Kingwood. We know that you all want to talk, and that's where we do it right here on Hello Houston. And this is your time to support just that. Please give at houstonpublicmedia.org or call 888-909-0887. I'm Celeste Díaz Schurman here with Frank Billingsley.
Hi, Celeste. So Hello Houston is here because of your support. The best way to give is as a monthly donor. You can choose an amount to give each month, and you'll keep information accessible to everyone in our community. It's a simple act, and it means so much. So please give at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887.
Houston Public Media helps our community by providing diverse perspectives and regional stories that matter to you. How do you quantify the value of an informed community? How much is knowledge worth to you? Think about it and make a contribution at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887.
We live in a time when misinformation spreads fast, and it's hard to know what's true and what's not. At Houston Public Media, we take time to verify and dig deeper, so you trust what you hear. Your gift makes this kind of independent journalism possible, so protect your right to accurate, reliable information. Please give right now at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887.
And when you give, you're helping build a stronger future for Hello Houston, a future where local voices, fresh ideas, and honest conversations continue to thrive. In a time when public media faces growing challenges, your support ensures this show stays connected to the heart of our city. Keep the dialogue going. Make your gift now at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or by calling 888-909-0887.
Support a stronger community with your donation right now. Please, houstonpublicmedia.org or call us 888-909-0887.
Feminist writers share some basic ideas, but their approaches vary widely.
Really, there are all kinds of public intellectuals across the range of identities, and it's really important that we understand canon in a way that can accommodate that reality.
Roxane Gay talks about a new collection of feminist works she edited that spans more than 500 years. That's next time on Think.
You Can Hear Think. It's coming up tonight at 10 p.m.
Imagine two friends getting together.
So what's happening in Congress?
Well, this is something that is going to be tough to defend in an election year. And that's assuming it even passes, which it might not.
Imagine you could listen in.
And then what about the Senate? The bills are just rocketing out of the chamber.
Have they gone too far? The House might say, well, wait a minute.
Well, you can. Party Politics with Brandon Rottinghouse and Geronimo Cortina. Fridays at 7:30 p.m. on News 88.7, at 8 on TV8, and on your favorite podcast platforms.
Support comes from Houston Grand Opera, presenting Wagner's Tannhäuser in a production featuring tenor Russell Thomas on stage at Wortham Theater, April 25th through May 11th. Tickets are available at hgo.org.
Support for Houston Public Media comes from UNT, offering an online MBA with specializations in organizational behavior, HR management, and more. Classes start every 8 weeks. Details at online.unt.edu/MBA. Support for Houston Public Media comes from listeners like you and from Smart Financial Center in Sugar Land, presenting guitarist Santana in concert Wednesday, April 23rd at Smart Financial Center. Tickets at smartfinancialcenter.net. Support comes from the Houston Rockets, presenting their 2025-26 season ticket memberships with access to live sports, suite availability, and opportunities for business engagement. More at rockets.com/tickets or 713-758-7300.
And now back to Hello Houston. Call 713-440-8870 or email us at talk@hellohouston.org to get your comment in on today's topics. Now back to Ernie Manouse, Celeste Díaz Schurman, and Frank Billingsley.
All right. Hello, Houston. Welcome back to our
Hello.
show. It's Friday.
Happy Friday.
And our last segment.
It is. It is indeed.
For
I'm
this
Frank
week.
Billingsley. I'm here with Celeste Díaz Schurman and Ernie Manouse, and it is officially the end of the week, so we can talk about weekend plans, right?
We can. We are
That's
allowed
right.
to now.
What you got going?
The biggest thing that we need to mention, us as a group, all three of us, along with Matt
Oh,
Harrop,
shall we
our
say it
morning
together?
anchor,
Art Car Parade.
We are going to be one of the emceeing teams. If you're in the VIP pit area, we're on the north side of City Hall is where you'll find us. That's where we usually sit and announce the parade. So if you're around there, come by and say hi.
It starts at 2.
Parade starts at 2. The VIP pit opens if you have VIP pit tickets at noon. But remember, the whole parade is open to the public and the community around town. So come on downtown and see these amazing cars. Then we'll be moderating, emceeing, announcing.
I
That's
don't know
it.
why I think that is so cute that the art car parade has a pit, because a
I
pit
get it.
section,
The
because
VIP pit. It's so
I think that's really cute because my husband's gotten into like F1. I feel like that's a big thing
Oh, yeah.
since that Netflix
That's a huge thing.
documentary show came out, and so to think about the art cars like zooming by. And
Well, this is the funny thing that you guys will learn. This is your first time doing it with me.
It's my
I've been
first
doing
time
it for
going.
years. Oh, well. You think these little art cars are going to be along, and every so often you get a stretch of them flying by, and you guys are going to be flipping the pages in the script trying to keep up and then long haul, because some of these art cars have maybe seen better days.
Are we
They're moving
pushing
a
it a
little
little
slow.
bit?
I've seen them
The
be pushed
hamsters
by.
are-
I've seen them. So we have to fill in a little time there when they go by. But it's amazing. Almost 300 cars this year are going to be there.
And the weather's going to be perfect.
Oh, my God,
I mean,
yeah.
it really is.
And I know we always joke about it, but we do believe Frank gives us the weather.
That's
That you
it,
pick
right?
it and give it to us.
I can take credit for that.
Frank's in a good mood, so he's giving us a good weekend this weekend.
So, hey, tonight I wanted to mention I'm going to go to this kickoff. Kevin and I are co-chairs for the Counseling and Recovery Services Gala, which is actually a polo match coming up in a few weeks. But tonight is the kickoff for that. Counseling and Recovery does a lot for veterans, homeless people, those trying to get back into the workforce, those who are homeless. So it's a really nice group, and we were asked to be a part of it. And so we're going to be doing that tonight. And then Art Car Parade, and then I'm going to zip down and meet Kevin in Galveston for Art Walk. So I've got Art Car
fun.
and then Art Walk.
Well, I am going to zip out of the Art Car Parade down to Galveston.
Okay.
Because the Bryan Museum down in Galveston
Fabulous.
is having their Wildcatters Ball tomorrow night. I'm emceeing. And our musical talent is Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that's
Yes,
fun.
he's going to be there with his band, the Boxmasters, and they're going to be performing at the museum. Unfortunately, for those of you listening who are like, yeah, it's sold out.
Well, it's High Cotton Gala right there. It's a big thing down there.
So I gotta get dressed up for
You're
this.
going to love it. You're going to have so much fun. The Bryan Museum, J.P. Bryan got that together
beautiful.
at the old orphanage there on the east side, and it's a fabulous building, and they have all kinds of things going on for the gala. Not the least of which is Ernie Manouse.
Oh, of course. That's what I'm sure
Billy Bob
sold the
Thornton.
tickets. Of course, if you go to the website, I'm not even mentioned. So I think it's actually honoring our historic Wildcatters from the area, celebrating the museum, and also maybe Billy Bob has a little something to do with it.
It really is all Southwest United States. There's a lot of Texas and Texas museum stuff in there. And I mean, like reenactments of battles with little soldiers.
That's very
and
cool.
photographs and portraits. And you're going to love it.
Well,
It's
I'm
a
going to
great
turn around
museum.
then. I'm going to come home and I'm going to lock myself in my house on Sunday. I don't have White Lotus to watch, but
I know. What are we
I'm going to
gonna
lock
watch?
myself up. Celeste,
I'm
how
going to
are
Kemah
you?
boating, by the way.
Oh, well, good for
Yachting.
you.
I'm going yachting in Kemah.
How are you filling your weekend?
I will be up early morning at T-ball with my little one. We'll be T-balling, and then we're going to zoom right into the Art Car Parade, and then I'm going to head to see Khruangbin this weekend. They're playing out in the Woodlands. So,
Oh, that'll be fun.
cool.
yes, so I'm going with a group of friends, and it's going to be fun. And
What do you do with your Sundays?
I'll head to church.
Okay.
Catholic I am.
Yeah, that's good.
Catholic. But
That's good.
yeah, I'll head to church, and
It's
then
Palm Sunday.
it is Palm Sunday, and that's exactly what we'll do. We'll go
You
to
look at me like you're surprised I know that.
yeah, I am. Well, but you're from the South.
Every Sunday.
Your mama raised you right.
Every Sunday.
Your
every
mama
Sunday.
raised you right.
But you know who else has got some really awesome weekend plans? Tiffany Haddish,
Hi,
actress
Tiffany.
and comedian. I can't hear her there. Let's see if we can hear her.
I can hear
there
you.
you are. Hello, Tiffany.
We can hear you now.
We're introducing you as Tiffany Haddish, your name, but you will always be Nikisha to me from the Carmichael Show. I absolutely loved you on that show, and from then
I thought
to
you
now,
were saying Keisha from Solar Opposites.
no, but you've done
but
so
actually,
much.
her name is Aisha. My bad. And you know the Ishas.
The Ishas. Well, you being our favorite Isha, but you are Tiffany Haddish. You're coming to Houston.
Yes, I am. I'm coming in Houston this Saturday. I'll be doing a show out there at the theater.
The theater.
Nice.
You know, I kind of stumbled.
The theater, darling. I will not look like this.
But you look fabulous.
This is my
darling.
napping costume. I was napping.
Well, I stumbled your introduction. I didn't get to say Emmy Award winner and Grammy Award winner. Pretty
You better
impressive.
say it. You better say it.
I just did.
I was wondering why you was disrespecting me.
Never.
I love your work. I love the way you tell a story and make it so funny. I mean, there are a lot of comedians out there that sort of tell a joke and a joke and a joke and a joke. You just tell a hilarious story that just keeps on going. Like about your Michael Kors purse, for instance.
Oh, yes. That Michael Kors bag. What a blessing.
So Tiffany, what can...
It was an MLK bag, actually.
So, Tiffany, what can people expect? Houstonians that are excited to see you tomorrow night, what can they expect with your show?
Well, they can expect a whole lot of laughs. I'm going to be looking very fierce. See, it's the funny and fearless tour. So I will be fierce. I will be makeup, hair, clothes, hasta de la renta, Monse, a top-of-the-line designer, high heels. I will be in pain, but we will be happy. We will be happy. These tickets, I was just looking up the price of tickets, and some of them are really cheap, and a lot of them that are up close, they're not that cheap. And I was like, oh, I have to dress to the nines. I don't know. I might even make a costume malfunction, maybe a little nip slip. I don't know. Something for the people, you know.
It's for the people. You've got to.
Tiffany,
I know that y'all, you guys are going to be going to church on Sunday. I know I'm in a Bible Belt right now, and I might have to show them what God made.
Are you going to give us a reason to go to church on Sunday?
Where is the?
We're going to get closer to God.
I love it. What's the venue you're going to be at? Where are you going to be exactly when you're in Houston?
At the Heights Theater.
Now, see, I just woke up from a nap. Now you want me to go digging. I believe it's the
Heights
the
Theater.
Heather Theater. The
Heights Theater.
Nice.
You know, Heights. I knew it started with an H.
You did. Just to get a tiny bit serious with you, I'm just curious for you personally, what is the power of laughter? What has that brought to your life? And what is it that you try and bring to people by using humor?
First of all, that's not a serious conversation. This is a healing conversation that you're about to bring up. Laughter is I think the number one best medicine in the world. And it is the best way to heal from trauma. If you cannot laugh or find something humorous about something that is traumatic, you'll never heal from it, ever. And I have been through all the traumas. I feel like dang near all the traumas. I'm surprised I'm still alive some days. I go, oh, God, what kind of punishment you got for me today? And then I feel like God goes, no, it's not punishment.
Yeah.
I'm making you stronger because success is heavy and everybody's not able to carry it. And you have to be strong enough to carry it, my love. So I'm strong. So we're going to be laughing a lot. And I think for me, laughter's helped me to process and have a better understanding. The comedy really, you have to be smart to do comedy. You can't be stupid. I play dumb, but I'm not.
Yeah.
And in order to really be able to find the humor in things that are tragic, you have to have a certain level of intelligence. And I think comedy's helped me to find my intelligence. It's helped me to find my joy. And it's helped me to be able to function in society. Because if I just... if I couldn't find the funny in some of those things that happened to me, I think I would probably be in an institution.
But you're not, and your humor has brought so much healing and joy to all of us and the audience at large.
I know this
it's
lady.
Wonderful.
I ran into this lady at the airport. I was at the airport. My flight was delayed yesterday, like 5 hours. Oh. And this lady came up to me crying, saying that She beat cancer because she watched all my comedy stuff.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's not why you beat cancer. You beat cancer because you decided to find your joy.
Good
That's beautiful.
message. A wonderful way to end on a Friday. Tiffany, thank you so much.
So much.
Thank
Actress
you
and
so
comedian
much.
Tiffany Haddish, thank you again for joining us on Hello Houston. That brings us to the end of the week for Hello Houston. We want to thank you for listening and watching us on YouTube. We're back on Monday with more conversations. This is News 88.7. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening to Hello Houston. Join us every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to talk all things Houston. The Hello Houston production team includes Garrett Bowman, William Menjivar, Jen Altide, Todd Holslander, and Jim Kovacic. For the latest in local news, subscribe to the Hello Houston daily newsletter at HoustonPublicMedia.org. Hello Houston is a production of Houston Public Media. The opinions expressed by the guests of this program are solely their own and do not represent the views of management, staff, or underwriters of Houston Public Media.